Okay. So this is what we have drawn the grid, 27 centimeter width and 33 centimeter height. So now next step is we have to number these columns first. Okay. From the left side you have to start 1. So here I have drawn this Shri Ram Ji once because tomorrow I couldn't take the session. I thought I can record this video for you tomorrow, but then I decided to draw these through the online live classes only. So I have erased all. So taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So every width of this grid will be 3 centimeter. So total 9 columns we have marked. Okay, so 9 multiplied by 3 equal to 27 centimeter, means total width is 27 centimeter. In the same way, from height wise also you have to start writing the number 1. Same, first row 1, now these are rows. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this one 11. So see, this will be an image, and you can see in this image I have zoomed it. See, 9 columns are there, and here it is 11 rows on the left side. Okay. There is one method either you can start doing with the help of taking one by one box. Okay, but if you will go with one by one box, first of all you will cover this one box, then come to this second box in the row 1, then come to this third box, then fourth box. It will time waste. Okay, it is time wasting totally. So better to use some technique. With the help of that technique you will be able to draw by saving some time. Okay, so by saving some time, what technique should be? Now here some of the artists like to draw first of all the facial features. After facial features has been done, they start working on these outline. But in my case, it is totally opposite. Okay, we will first of all draw the outlines only. We are not going into the details. We are going to draw only the outer lines, means these outer contour lines. Okay, these are contour lines, means outer line means contour lines. So we will work on these outlines only. So how much it will need? How much it will need? Just what we need. This outline, this outline, this outline, this outline, this outline, and this one, this one, here, like this, again, like this, only this much. In the same way, in the center, this much. We are not going to draw anything what is in between these outer outlines, outlines. Okay. So detailings we will cover in the next step after completing these outside borders. Okay. Now see, if I will tell that we have to go into the fifth column, seventh row, fifth column, third row, for example. Column is what? This vertical wise. These are what? Columns. So fifth column, if you will see, that fifth column is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the fifth column. And I am asking fifth column, third row. Now we have to see this fifth column as well as we have to go to the third row. This is the fifth column. This full the fifth column. This full is the fifth column. Okay. Now third row will be 1, 2, 3. So start from this third, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This fifth column. So this is what the column, this is the column, this is the column, this one is the fifth column. This grid box is the fifth column, third row. Fifth column, third row. In this way, I will ask. Okay. So now we have to see our outline structure. Just see. Here, if I will zoom, start from the top. Okay, start from the top. See, here the outlining is starting from this fourth column also. This fourth column, this one fourth column, and also it is covering fifth column. Also it is covering sixth column. Okay, these three columns it is covering. Now row is what? This is the first row. Okay, this is the C. This is the first row. So from the very first row, it is covering fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay. So now up to you that where you want to start, either from the fourth, either from the fifth, or from the sixth. So I will start from this fourth. So never ever confuse that where to start. Always try to start from left to right. Okay. So on the top, this is the first row and columns which we are going to cover 4, 5, 6 for only this much outline. Now, this is the first technique. What I have told, the first technique is always draw the only outer borders first. After then draw the internal side detailings or anything, whatever the feature, clothing, texture, anything, any jewelry, anything. Okay, so if you will draw the jewelry, in the same case, how you will apply this technique? Just draw like the outline like this. Draw the line here, draw the line here, draw this circle here, oval type, then draw the line here, draw the line here. That's all. Do not need to go into the detailing of these jewelry. We will go into these after the outlining once it will be drawn. Okay. Now, so this is what the first technique. Second technique, what I have told you, never ever try to start these outlinings in between anywhere. Always try to start from the left to right. Okay, so I can also start from the fifth. I can also start from the sixth. I can also start from bottom to top from this one, sixth column. Okay, you can go from bottom to up direction. It's okay, but you have to start first from the left. Then you have to go towards the right direction. Now, this is what, again zooming it, the fourth column. And you see in fourth column, this first row, fourth column, this first row, wait. My pen is every time hitting the clamp because I have zoomed too much. Anyhow, see, this is the line, bottom line of this fourth. 4 number grid. This is the one grid. It has 4 sides, this upper, this bottom, left, right. Okay, so it has 4 sides. Now see, the bottom line, here is the bottom line. Now you have to find out the center of this bottom line, and with the help of these diagonal lines you already know what where is the center. So with the help of these diagonal lines you will be able to find the center of the line also. From here, just moving your pen towards the downward direction, and here you can see there is a center. Here, where I have placed the nib of this pencil over here. This is a center, and where the line is starting, just little bit before here. Here is the center. Here is the center. And the outlining is going to start just before here, just before this point from here. So what is this third technique? This third technique is when you are start drawing the outline, first of all check that it is on the upper line or bottom line. Yes, it is on the bottom line. Now in the bottom line you have to check either the start of this point should be in the center or anywhere else. Now you will find first center here, and in the center you see this is the center and line is where here. So just before of this center, just little bit before of this center, this is the center. Just before of the center, start from here. Start from here. Now when you will start from here, first of all where are we? We are in the fourth column, first row. So fourth column, this bottom line. Come to the fourth column, bottom line. This is what the fourth column, and this is the bottom line. And we have to find out first what? The center. Very light you have to draw the straight line from the center. Very straight line. Here you will find the center. And as I told that just little bit before this center, here we have to start. Here we have to start. Mark the point over here. We can remove the point later on. Don't worry. Mark the point over here. Okay, do not need to draw the line first. You have to just mark the points only. You have marked the point over here. Now, again, coming to that fourth point. Here we have marked the point. Just here is a center, and just before this center, it is here. We have marked the point. Now, where it is? See, from this point to this point, where is the center? Center is here. Just on this outline. Just on this outline. Center is here. You can get the idea that where is the center. Just see. This is what? Whatever the width of this line, the same distance is also here. And so this is the center of this diagonal line. So see here, 4. The center of this diagonal line is somewhere, for example, like this, here. Here I have marked the point. Okay, here I have marked the point. Here just this is the center, and just after little bit distance, start from here, mark the point here, and on this diagonal line, in between the center, mark the point. Now see how to draw the line. You can see, is this the circular form? It is in the rounded form. It is in the rounded form. So what you have to take? You have to take the shape in a rounded form. In a rounded form. So next come to the fifth column. On the fifth column, here we have what? Mark the center of this line and we draw this circular line. Okay, it's okay. Now, see, here is what? This is not the center. If you will see from this intersection point, where is the center? Again, either from this, either from this intersection point. This is the intersection point. This is the intersection point. You can join these 2 points. Join these 2 points. I'm going to join these 2 points. In this fourth and fifth in between line, I'm going to join these 2 points. See, like this. Okay. I have joined these 2 points. Now, when you join these 2 points, okay, from here, this fourth intersecting and this fifth intersecting, join these 2 points. When you will join these 2 points, like my, see, my, where is my nib is crossing? Here, starting from this, here. My nib is crossing here. Means, where is the outline? Outline is above here. Here, when you will join these two lines, these 2 points, when you will join these 2 points, here, here, my nib is crossing here, my pencil is crossing here. And where is the outline? I am moving my pen towards up direction here. This is the outline, just little bit towards the upward direction. So when you will draw this line and just little bit above the upward direction, mark the point here. So this is what? My line is crossing here and just above this point, little bit here, mark the point over here. Don't use scales. Okay. So mark the points. Little bit point 1, point 2 can differ because these are hairs. Don't worry. Now, from this point to this point, how to draw? See, the already line is coming just little bit from this diagonal line here. This one. Just little bit from the diagonal line here. Then you have to stop here. Then again take a round or circular form shape. Okay. How? You have just up to this point. Up to this point. And from here, you have to again take a circle and meet that point where we have marked. And meet this line to that point where we have marked. Like this. Now see. Next. So we have reached here. We have reached where? Here. Now to this point, see, from this intersection point to this intersection point, this is the mid. You can guess the idea only. This is the somewhat the center of this diagonal line. So where is the center of this diagonal line? For example, this one. Mark the point over here. Center of the diagonal line. Now, how to start? So we have reached here. Again, coming from the previous line, in between these two, for example, you have marked the point here. Here already marked point. Now you have marked the point here. In between these two, this is what the center. In between these two, here is what the center. Just get the center. Every time my technique is what? My technique is only crying about the center, center, center. With the help of center, you can check whether the outline is just before the center or just after the center. So what we are using? We are using these vertical or horizontal lines. With the help of these lines, we are finding the center somewhere and somewhere we are finding with the help of our guess that, for example, in this case, with the help of guess, we found that this is a center. Okay. Anyhow, from this point to this point, in between these 2 points, this is again the center. Mark the point over here. So how to take in between these 2 points? This is, for example, center. So center is somewhat, if you will draw the line like hey, this one, straight one, it is just little bit below from the straight line. If you will draw the line this straight line, it is, this center is just little bit below. Okay. So if this is the straight line and center is just little bit below, so what you have to join these two first, this center, this point to this center, and from this point to this center in a circular or round shape in this way. Okay. So you do not need to directly join this point with this point. First of all, there is one point is again coming in between these 2 points just below this line here. What is this line? From this point to this point, draw the straight line, and just below this line here, mark the point. Now you have to take a circular line, round line, and start from here, join at here. Now here, start from here and join at here in this way. Now next, where we have reached here, this one and this one. Now where we want to go? Up to this line. Okay. Now if you will see this diagonal line, this is not in the center. This is not in the center. Center is where? When you will see from this point and this point, center is somewhat here. But in case of hairs, do not worry. It is just little bit above the center. This line is just little bit, here is the center, here is the center, just little bit above this line here. Okay. And now again this point we have already marked, and here just above this center, here we will mark the point. Now this is also one point is coming in between. See, starting from here and now it is going down, and this point is coming. Where this is coming, just you have to take little bit from this line here. Okay. So when you will start taking the circular, first of all, where is the center of this line? Where is the center of these 2 points in between? Okay, center is here. Center is here. And just little bit above, you have to mark the point over here. Center is here. But you have to mark the point just little bit above the center. Now, I told you that where you have to take this down one, where you have to take. And this down one is exactly at the center, just below, before the center. If you will see, here is the center, draw the straight line. Draw the straight line. Because you know this is also the center. When I will draw this straight line, means horizontal straight line, it will meet at that point. As I told you that this is what the center of this diagonal line. So this diagonal line center is this one. Join these two. So just little bit before this center you have to take here. Mark the point here. Now take the rounded form, this one and this one, in this way. take the rounded form. Starting from this, just semicircle type, take in a circular way like this one, and here again start from this one. ये आपका कहाँ पर है? Just इसके थोड़ा सा पहले. The distance what you have taken, the distance from what you have taken from this center towards the up point, same distance you have to take to the left side. जो ऊपर की तरफ डिस्टेंस लिया है उतना ही डिस्टेंस लेफ्ट साइड लेना है. यहाँ पे भी एक पॉइंट मार्क कर देना. Okay, first of all you have to draw the straight line, then you have to mark the distance what you have taken from this central point towards the up direction, this point. Same distance in between these 2 points you have to take from this point to left side in this way. Now we have reached here. Now we have to reach here. Now when you will see, this is what the intersection point, and second intersection point is this one. Again, if you will find the center, how you will find the center? Can you tell me? Just unmute because I have to ask everybody in between this session also. Can you tell me, if I want to find the center of this line, I have told you the technique. How to find the center of this line? Can anybody tell by unmuting yourself? How can you find the center of this line? Can anybody tell? By just guessing the idea?
Yes,
Or
that's
anything else?
grid number 5.
1.5 centimeter.
Yes. Grid number 5 is intersection point, and grid number
Yes.
6 is intersection
Section.
point. Join these two dots. Join these two dots. Then you will find the center. Okay. So what I have told, that grid number 5 and grid number 6. These two intersection dots, you have to start the line, draw the line very light, very just for your understanding only. Join these two. Now here you will get the center. Here you will get the center. And where you will get the center from this point to this point, when you will draw the line, it is crossing here somewhere. It is crossing here. Draw the line from this point towards this point. It is crossing here. Okay. It is crossing here. When you will draw the center, this straight line over here, it is crossing here. Now, when it is crossing here, it is just this much distance above. Now, how will you find that how much you have to go towards the up direction? Again, with the help of this guess, if you can divide these from this center towards the up intersection point into 3 parts. So this is the first third. See, from this point to this point, you have drawn the one line. Once the line is drawn, you get the center of this whole line. You get the center. Now ignore this line. Below bottom part, you ignore. Ignore this bottom part. You have to take only this, top part. And from the top part, if you will, you can divide into what? Here. From the top part, here and here. Can you see if this is what we are crossing the line here? Okay. From here, like this, here. And towards the up direction, it is almost the half of this line. If you will exactly see, it is a half of this line. Means when you draw these, intersect these 2 points with each other, you find the center. And from this center towards this intersection point, this intersection, this is the point and this is the point. This is what you have found, the center. And from this center towards this top point where you have to mark, in between these two find the center. This is for example center. Now here the guess technique is used. The guess technique is used. You have to guess in between these 2 points. For example, this is the center. Okay. So now, so when you will find this point, now very easy. How you find this point? First of all, you have to find the center of this line. When you will find the center of this line, you can now guess where this above outline intersecting. It is just between from this center to this above point. It is just in between the half of this. Now you can easily draw this circular. Okay, so you can easily draw this circular and join at this point. Now we have reached here. See, we have started from here. Now we are here. This is a very big deal you have cracked. We have reached here. Now, next is very great job we have done starting from this point, and now we have reached up to this point. Just small portion is left now. This small portion. So this is what this center, and now from this center to above this point, again we find out one center and we join these two dots with the help of this round shape. Now from this point you have to go this from this point to this point. See, this is the intersection point. This is the intersection point. Okay. So with the help of guess, see, where is the center? Center will be there. Here will be the center. Here will be the center. And from this central point, again it is in the center of this center point and this point, in between these two. From this center to this point, again in between you have to find out the center. It is reaching here. Okay. How? This is the diagonal line. You have to find out the center. So for example, center is here. Now from this center point to this point, center is here. Now how to join? Don't worry, you do not need to first draw these detailing. Don't go into these detailing. Don't go. Just simply, this line is just coming towards this down direction. This line is just coming, crossing this line also. Then start from just little bit here and join here. What I am saying. Here you have marked the point. It is just crossing here. Only just little bit after this line. Then what you have to do? You have to draw again in the circular form. Join here. This is the center of this line, and now find out the center from this point to this point. Again, this is the center. So start from here. If you will not cross this line, it is okay because these are here. You can simply start from this dot, take a round shape and join over here, where you have found the center of this half diagonal line. Okay. Now we are going fast. Okay, so this is very good. Now we understand where we have reached. Okay, so here we have reached. Now where you have to reach? Now this bottom line. Again, it clearly shows that from this point to this point, it is in the center. Very nice. It is in the center. Okay, from this point to this point, it is in the center. Here is the center. So see, this is not too much curvy, not too much curvy, very less curve, slightly less curve. Okay, slightly less curve like this, not too much banded curve this way. So finally we have reached here. See now, is this the part complete? Starting from this first row bottom line, start from this left side and we have now reached on the right side. Same here. Start from this left side, we have reached going towards this to the right direction we have reached here. So don't draw now these one here. We don't need right now. Why? Because it is touching some line. This is the line. From this point, it is touching to this line. So this is line what we are going to draw. This line is what? It is the part of the jewelry. And we are going to draw this line. After then, we will intersect these two, join these two dots. Okay, that is why I have left these two. Now, how to draw these two lines? So we are in the fourth column and now this is in the second row. This is the first row. Now this is the second row. This is the first column ends here. Now this is the second column. So from second column, this fourth row, where this jewelry going to start? See how to find. If you will see this diagonal line divided into four parts. Because you, with the help of this guess area, if you will see the level is where? The level is where? The level is just, you can see 1/4 of this line. This level is 1/4 of this line. If you will divide this diagonal line into four parts, then this is the 1/4. You can mark. If this diagonal line is divided into four parts, okay, the level is where? This is the one method to check. Now see, as you can see, the another technique also, if you don't want to go with that technique, the another technique also. What? Is this the straight line intersecting this point? This is the straight line intersecting this point. And which is this point? In the fourth column and this second row. In the fourth column and second row, this point. How much it is going toward, how much it is going towards the down direction. Okay, so it is going towards, here is the, for example, center, here is the center, here is the center, just below the center. Okay, so this is the intersection point. So for example, by marking the straight line and find the center here. So for example, this is the center. You can start from the center. It's okay because this is the jewelry. This is a jewelry fixed in the here, fixed in the here. This is the jewelry. You can find out the center between these two. This is the point, and from this line to this point, wherever the center is, start from there. Very simple. Okay. From this point to this line, wherever the center is, for example, here is a center, draw the line here. Simple. Now, same case below, how much you have to go down? Again, if you will start from here towards this bottom line, where is the center? Center is in between here. Again, find out the center from this point to this bottom line. The center is here. So, sorry. Oh, my clamp is again hitting. From this point to this bottom, for example, this is the center. This is the center. Draw the line and join this center. So this is what we got the width of that jewelry portion. The width of this belt. The width of this belt. We got the width of this belt. Now start from here because we have drawn the line here. In between these two, this is the center, and from this point to this line, this is the center. So we have drawn the straight line. Now we got 2 points, this point, this point. Now we have to start with this point. Now see, from this point, it is going just in a round form, little bit slightly in the round form. It is not crossing this intersection point. See, guys, this is very important. It is not crossing this intersection point. It is just below the intersection point. Here, little bit below the intersection point, little bit below on this straight line. On this straight line, it is just little bit below this intersection point. Mark the point over here. Mark the point over here. Okay. Just below the intersection point, it is here. Here. Now just in a very little bit round form, mark at this point. I have taken in a round, slight rounded form. Not too much round, slightly rounded form. Okay. So now from this point we have reached here. Now where we have to go, just taken from this point, you have to go up to only this point. How much this point we will cover? We will cover right now. Now this is what the full length, full width of the line. Full width of the line. Don't divide into 1/4 part. Now here you have to use the guess technique. And what is the guessing technique? It is here. It is joining here. It is joining here. So with the help of guess technique, it is joining here. Okay. It is joining here. If this is not in the round form, don't worry. Because this is a jewelry, we have to create the pearls over here. We have to just write now the outer structure and the just points we are marking and join those points. Only this is what we are focusing now. So here we have reached. Here we have reached. Now from this point, where we have to go? Again, this is the intersection point. From this point towards this one, this is the intersection point. This is the center point of this fifth column. This is the center point of this fifth column. And just little bit below, just little bit below, you have to mark the point. So this is the fifth intersection point, and on this diagonal line, just little bit below. Okay. Here. So the structure is like, again in the rounded form, this one. Now, from this point, now it is going towards here. Again, this is the intersection point between 5 and 6, this bottom line. Just little bit before, just little bit before. In between, in between 5 to 6 line, this is the bottom line, just little bit before. It is here. It is here. So again, what you have to take, same in the same shape. What? And shape how to take, very simple. This grid line helps you. This diagonal line will help you. Along this diagonal line, you have to join over here. Okay. So along this diagonal line, join over here. Again, don't worry about if it is not creating proper, rounded form. Don't worry, because here we are going to create, hire moti pearls, small pearls, the gold circles over here. We just need an idea to join these to this point, just little bit before this intersection point here. Now next see. So we have reached here. Now again, see, we have reached here. Now from this point, we have to cross this intersection point. We have to cross this intersection point and going towards which direction? Here. The center of this grid line, which is a sixth column. Sixth column, second row, and this diagonal line. Okay. Sixth column, second row, sixth column, first two. Second row, this is the diagonal line, half portion. This full portion is the diagonal line, you have to take half. And half of this diagonal line, again you have to find out the half. Here is the half. Here is the half. So it is just to the half. Okay. So here, you have to start from this point and it is touching this intersection point, and where it is going just half of this diagonal line. Okay. So what you have to do? Here, like this way. Now, up to where you have to go? Now from this point you have to go little bit in a rounded form, but where you have to go? Now you can guess here. If you will divide this diagonal line into three parts, 1, 2, and this third part. This is the 1/3. So mark the point over here. So this is the 1/3 of the line. If you will divide this line, this diagonal line into three parts, this is the first part, second part, first part, second part. 1, 2, 3. So it is divided into three parts. So this is the first part. So little bit in a rounded form, join like this. And here, when you will reach here, draw the straight line, little bit below. Draw the straight line. Draw the straight line. A little bit slanting line in this direction. This direction. Little bit slanting line. Little bit below. Now, what you have to do? Okay. So here, this point. From this point. From here, it is crossing where? If you will divide this diagonal line into two halves, it is just little bit above. This diagonal line, this is the diagonal line of what? This fourth column. This is the intersection point of the second row, fourth column, second row. Intersection point. From this intersection point to this intersection point, this is the diagonal line. Find the center. Center will be here. Center will be here. And it is crossing here. Okay, just little bit above. So if you will find the center of this diagonal line, it is somewhere here. It is somewhere here. But it is crossing just little bit above here. So mark the point over here. Somewhere you have to apply the central point idea technique. Somewhere you have to apply like, okay, it looks like if you will divide this line into three parts, then it is the 1/3 of this part. Sometimes you have to use the guess technique. Okay, so here I have used, or sometimes you have to use the nearby technique to the center, to the any corner, not only center, to any corner. The nearby technique. The nearby technique. So this is a nearby technique. Here we have find out the center of this diagonal line, and just near towards the up direction, here we have marked the point. Now this is the center, and just above the center, just near the center towards the up direction, we have marked the point here. Now here it is crossing where? Can you see that this is the center of this vertical line? You can clearly see. If this is the vertical line from this point to this point, it is just in between this point. This is the center. And where it is now crossing this intersection point. Very important. This intersection point. Very simple structure. Starting from this point, joining at the center of this line, and again joining at this intersection point. How simple. From here you have to join here. Now find out the center here, joining at the center. Find out where is this diagonal line, this intersection point is here, touching here. Very simple. Now from here, now it is touching this intersection point. Okay. Don't go like this one in this direction. Do not need to go. No need. You have to again cross. You have to cross simply. Make the structure as simple as you can. Don't need to draw this curve. No. We will see later. Just need to draw this line. And where it is now joining, can you see? Very simple again. From this point to this point, again it is in the center. Very simple. Okay. From this point to this point, again it is in the center. So you can join like here, this one. Don't worry if it is not creating any proper circle. It is now here banded form. Now again starting from here, you just need to join with this line. In a very rounded form, simple, little bit rounded form. Now, from this point to this point you have joined, come to the next. Now as it is going toward the down direction, so this is what the intersection point to the next part, intersection point. So see what area it is covering towards the down direction. Where is the meeting point? This one. But how can you guess? Again, can you see? If you will divide this whole length, this whole diagonal line up to this point and this point, this is the center. This is the center. And if again from this center to this point you will divide into two halves, then this is the center. Okay. So where I am telling, if you will divide this from this point to this point, for example, this is the center. And again, if from this central point to this point, again find the center here. So it is now joining here. Simply now you can meet over here. Very simple. Meet over here. Do not need to get the help with the reference. Simple. Now it is joining this point. We have already got this point. Now, can you join this point where we have left with the hairs incomplete? Simply join in a rounded way. Now you can join in a rounded way. Very simple. Here also, again you can join in a rounded way. You can join in a rounded way, this way. So simple. Now, this center part you can draw by yourself. But how? Again, there is a technique. You have drawn up to this point. Up to this point. Now, what to do next? You have to join here. You have to join here, not at this intersection point. The center of this Taj is jewelry is this one. Is this one. But here it is coming. Okay, it is taking like around here. So do not need to go into the jewelry. I told you that I am changing so many designs during this portrait because these are artificial intelligence with the help of this AI. So these are not original. We are going to create the original jewelry. So for example, this is the center here. This is the center here. As you know, see, this is not at the intersecting point. The center is somewhere here. Just after this intersecting point here. Okay. If this is the center, you simply need to do what? In a very, this way. You have to draw the shape like this. For example, in this way. Sorry, my clamp is in between. Like this drop of water. Like in this way, drop shape. Okay. So this is so flat, and here is the sharp corner. So this is flat, but a little bit rounded form in this way. Okay. Just like a leaf, you can say. Just like a leaf. So what you have created, the outline up to this point, from this point to this point, the whole above area we have drawn the outline. As I told you, now I'm going to take the class up to 1.5 hours. So still 20 minutes are there. Okay. So up to this, first of all, I want to know. We will go slow, slow, slow. Is it clear to all of you? Unmute yourself and tell me. Don't write any message on the chat box because my phone got hanged.
Yes, it's clear.
Is it clear? Yeah. Every time we just need to find out the center of for every line. See, here also what we find out the center. We found center. Now you can guess where the point should be. Here again we found center. Here again we found center. With the help of this center we got this point. Here again we have found every step. With every step, what we need to find? We need to find first of all the center of that line. Either it is diagonal, either it is vertical, either it is horizontal. In this way, slow, 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 we are moving and we have covered this upper part. So now, show me what you have done. Before proceeding further, I want to see. Okay, so all of you have done the good job. In the first attempt, you have drawn the perfect upper portion, including the jewelry and the hairs. So I am not going to now go into the detailing part. We will do the detailing, but in the end. Okay. Now next, what you have to see. So here, for the hairs also, we will first cover the outline. Okay. I told you, don't go inside. No. First cover the outside part. See here. Now we are in the fourth column again because we have started from here and up to this point. We have ended it. Now see. Again, I am zooming it. Now fourth column will not be shown. Okay, वो ऊपर चला गया. Don't worry. I will tell you. So this is what the fourth column and second row. This is what the fourth column and second row. Where we have reached fourth column. This is fourth column and here this is the second row in between. Okay. Here, where you have to go up to this point. Now, see, can you guess now? Anybody, mute yourself and tell me. Can you guess where it is? This is the point. Can you tell?
One.
I will give you the options. Either in the center or it is like one third. If you will divide this line into three parts, it is in the one third or it is near to the center. Three options I have given. Either this point is the center of this line, either this point is one third of this line, or either this point is just near to the center. Now, answer anyone.
1/3.
Yes. If you
One
will,
third.
yes, yes.
1/3.
If exactly. Now, in the first attempt, you now are able to guess the technique also. From this point to this point, it is in the one third distance. Okay, so very simple mark over here. This is the one third from this point to this point. This is the one third. You can join, but not too much curvy, simple like this one. In this, like coming from this direction, coming from the previous line like this one. If this is the previous line like this one, simple. Now going towards here, don't go into the details like this one. No, just find out the, find out this line is going how. Okay, I don't know where it is joining. No, you just need to first mark the point. Where is the point? Here. Where this the last here ends? Here. And this is what again you have to unmute and tell me from this point to this point. It is here. Can you tell me it is here? Now option is, first of all, in the start I will tell you the options, but by slowly I will not give you the option. You have to answer. First option is, it is not in the center. It is just below the center. It is just below the center. Second option, it is in the center from this point to this point. Now, which one is the answer? Tell me.
Just below the center. Below the center.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
But I think it is in the center.
No, ma'am.
Are you sure?
Below the center.
Yes.
Just,
So this
just
way, I will sometime give you the wrong answers to check
take
that
the
yes, how
answer.
much you are feeling confident. Okay. So this is just little bit, this is the center, for example, this is the center, it is just little bit below here. Okay, find out the center. For example, the center is here, center is here, and it is just little bit below here. So what you have to do? You have to join over this point. Simple. So you have to join in a curvy way. In a curvy way. Now, second, when you will reach this point, now next point is, here you have marked, now next point is, now it is going like this. And where it is meeting? Where it is meeting? If you will take a curve like this, where it is meeting?
Center.
In this line. Yes, it is in the exact in the center. And from this center again take the curve and it is meeting where? If this is the center, if this is the center where it is meeting, for example to this line, this is the center. This is the center. So now it is taking curve. This is the center. Now see, if it is meeting in the center and from this point to this is the center, see, don't think if it is rounded in this way. If you will take in the this way, in the rounded way, see, try to understand my point. If you will take this in a rounded way, then it is the 1/3 of this line. Now again two options are
Mhm.
there. Either you have to take the full curve up to the 1/3 point, either you need to take the center. It's up to you because these are hairs. Okay. So if you want to go with 1/3 point, you can also go with the 1/3 point. It's up to you because these are hairs. If you will take in the center also, there is nothing wrong. Okay. So you can join this to the 1/3 of this line. This is the 1/3 of this line. Again, starting from here, now it is joining where? Where you have marked the 1/3 from this point to this point, on this point to this point, you can take it in the center. From this point to this point where you have taken 1/3, and again from 1/3 point and this point again in the center, it is joining. Okay. If from this point to this point, take the one center, or just you can say, if center is here, from where I am talking about the center. Here is the 1/3 point. We have draw this curved line and join one at the 1/3 point. And from this 1/3 point to this intersection point, if you will again, either you can take half point, because you can also draw the hairs according to yourself. You do not need to exact copy this one. If you want to copy this one, then you can again see what? From this 1/3 point and this point, if you will cut into three parts, one, this is the one part, two part, three part. Then this is again 1/3 part from this point to this point. Means from this point to this point, it is 1/3 part here. If you will divide into three parts, this is the first part, second part, and third part. So this is the 1/3 part. Okay. So you can join like here. Like this. Next, where you have to go? Simple. In a little bit curvy line, join up to this diagonal line. In little bit curvy line, join up to this diagonal line. A little bit curvy line, join up to this diagonal line. Now very simple shape in the next step. How? Just along with this line, it is little bit curvy here, little bit curvy. This is the line and it is little bit curvy. And again, here it is taking round. Where? Now see, this is the length of the whole diagonal line. Simple. If so many hairs are there, so what is the best method? Don't go for any 1/3 or 1/4. No. Just find out the circle of this line, center of this line. So this is the center. This is the center. It is just above the center. Okay. Very simple. If from this point to this point, this is the diagonal line, where is the center? I think from this point to, if I will guess, it is here somewhere. Okay. So what you have to take? Either you can cross this through the center of the line, here, the center of the line. Either you can cross through the center of the line or just little bit above. It's all up to your choice. Okay. So for example, I am crossing the center. Don't worry. It will not wrong. I am crossing the center. And now I am rounded it. I am rounded it. And the way where I am reaching, this is the center of this vertical line. This is the center of this vertical line. This is the center. And where it is meeting? Here. Just to the above of the center. Anywhere. Anywhere above of the center you can meet. If this is the center, this is the center of this vertical line, anywhere above you can meet. Not this way to up to this point. It should look natural. Hairs should look natural. Above to anywhere, just above this center point, anywhere you can stop. Next. So anywhere you have stopped. If this is the center point, so you have stopped here. It's okay, fine. And here again, where you have to meet. Now at the center point, take again one curve. Take again one curve. Again from here. Here you have taken this one. Same on the same line. Again you have to cross from the center also. And what you have to take? The curve like this. Very simple. Just above this ending point. Above this. So you have to cross from the center also. And from the above also center point, you have to stop here. Taking a curve. Okay. So what you have done, you have taken the curve, stop here, and also from the center on the same parallel line you have crossed here. I am taking this way the hair, otherwise this crossing should be like this one. From this center point. Okay. From this diagonal center point, from this diagonal center point, I am already there. That is why on the same line I have taken. Otherwise in the picture it is like this line is different, this line is different, and this line is different. You can also take, it's up to you. I can also take, it is showing in the picture like this. So hairs are up to you. This is what I want to say. The hairs you have to draw according to your choice. Okay. Now here you have reached. Now next is from this point it is going towards touching this line. This is the straight line. So now it is touching this line and here just taking the direction like this and meeting at what? Either intersection point you can meet or just little bit above. It is crossing over there. Okay. How? What I have said. Here you have to start. Where? See. Again. This line. You have taken it from the center. You have taken it from the center. Again on this line. Draw. Means you have taken it to the center, cross this center. Same from this line, I am moving my pencil over there. From this line, every time I am pointing here. What I have said, just it is taken like from here. Okay, I am very much slow. Okay, to this line. So along with this parallel line, it is coming inside and not intersecting point, it is touching just little bit above. Okay, so coming from here, where was I? Coming from here, it is now little bit inner side, it is bending, and here it is moving, here it is moving, not touching this intersection point. If you want to touch the intersection point, again telling you can touch the intersection point to make it so simple. So do not worry. So it is like this. It is like this. Where up to? Up to 1/3 of this line. Up to 1/3 of this line. It is going up to this mark. Okay. So if you will take 1/3 of this line, 1/3 of this line, it is somewhere here. So it is going like this way. Now, from this intersection point, just little bit above, if you want to make it more simple, then from the intersection point, draw this line. From which level, up to which level? Up to what level? Level should be, if you will take this line or this line, any line you can take, okay, divide it into three parts. This is the 1/3, and again divided into this part also three parts. This is the 1/3. Okay, what I want to tell, this is the intersection point. Okay, this is the intersection point. Take 1/3 where, for example, this is the 1/3. This is the 1/3. Again from this diagonal line also, this is the 1/3. Or you can see over here. Either half, either 1/3 does not matter. These are the things, try to understand. These are the things, you can take it as a longer height, you can take it as very less height. All up to you. Okay. So, starting from this intersection point, draw the line like this and join here. Simple. Draw the line from the intersection point. From this intersection point, draw the line towards the up direction parallel to this line. Parallel to this line. From this point, draw the line up to the level I have marked and join here. Now where you have to go? Can you see this point? This point is where? Very simple it is looking. This point is just below. You can draw the straight line over here. If you will draw the straight line over here, up to this straight line. Okay, what I am saying, this is the intersection point, draw the straight line. So up to this level, just this distance you have to leave from the bottom line towards up direction. This distance up to this point. Now, again it is going, don't make any partition, no need. These are the detailing part, we will cover later. So again continuing, where it is intersecting. If you will see the next, this diagonal line, this is the 1/3. Okay, this is a 1/3. So Okay, here we have reached. So where it is intersecting first? The center of this line. The center of this line, and where it is meeting 1/3. It is intersecting the center of this line and meeting here 1/3. Okay. If it is little bit before the center, it is okay again. This is up to you. You can create your own design. So up to this, if this line is divided into 3 parts, it is meeting here 1/3 part here in the center. So now, so here 1/3 you have crossed. In the same way, you have take this diagonal line up to which point? Up to this point. Now here it is again creating the 1/3 of this line, but you have to just stop here. Okay. So it is just creating the 1/3 of this line, 1, 2, 3, and just stop here, just little bit before. 1/3 of this line, just stop here. If you will join, this is a 1/3, again this is a 1/3, this is, you can say it is little bit below 1/3 on this point. So again, it can be anywhere. You can end up anywhere. You can take like this one also, like this line. It's up to you. It's up to you. Okay. You can take in any direction because this will not wrong. You can take any design. Even for example, if it looks like circle, you can take it as a square little bit. You can take it as oval. All it's up to you what design you want here. Now, here is the intersection point, join this line. Don't go into detailing like this line, it is now curvy. This line, it is now curvy. Don't go into this. Just from this point to this intersection point, join this. Okay. From this point to this intersection point, just join this. Take the straight line like this one. You have to join this point with this point. Simple. Now, from this intersection point, it is going towards this direction, and this is what? Here, if you will see this line, where is the center? Center is here. Where this here comes? Center is here. And it is just little bit above the center. This shoulder is just little bit above the center. Okay. So see, this diagonal line, because we have ended here, and diagonal line is where? Just opposite to this, in front of this. This is the intersection point, and diagonal line is just opposite to this. So if you will find half, here is a half, and just little bit above here. Okay. And going towards to this direction and meeting at the center of this line. Meeting up to center of this line. Meeting up to center of this line. For example, this is the center. This way. So from this intersection point, now moving down. Now when you are moving down, you can now clearly see. Means this curve is also crossing this intersection point, because you can see very clear. Very clear you can see. The thickness of this dot is very large. If you will remove this thickness, can you see this curvy line is crossing this center? So these now minor things you have to take care of these things. Now you cannot ignore. Okay. So if you will see, so this is not the intersection point, it is crossing. This curve line is not crossing this intersection point. Intersection point is here. And the curve is here. So now you cannot ignore these things. Up to the hairs and Tir Kumar, you can ignore. To the jewelry also you can ignore. But the body structure, you cannot ignore. You have to zoom and see where it is going. So it is above this center, this intersection point. Okay. So now I am taking again just above, just above. So now you cannot ignore just above like this way. Okay. So I have made it very dirty. I'm just going to clean because I also have to color these things. So it is going just above like this. So now it is crossing where? Can you see? When you will take it as round along this line, if you will take it as round, it is meeting where? Center of this diagonal line. It is meeting where? Center of this diagonal line. And here it meets 1/4 of this line. 1/4 of this line. Okay. So when you will draw, this is the center. And this is the 1/4 point. Mark this is the center. And this is the 1/4 point. So taking it a curvy way like this. Now moving down. So here 1/4 point you have marked. Now here it is where it is coming. Can you see again it is coming at the center. This bottom line now it is joining here where it is in the center. And where it is ended? It is ended here. Just if you will divide this line into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, means 4 sections. This is a 1/4 section. Going from this central point and where it is ending, just 1/4 part. Okay. So, see, going from this center and where it is meeting, here 1/4 part. Here. Okay. This way. From the center it is crossing and where it is ending, just of the diagonal line is this. This is the 1/4 point. Now just little bit below. Now this is a guessing technique. Just little bit below here, starting from this, you do not need to like draw like this. First here, then here, then here. Don't go like this. Starting from here, where it is ending from this point to this point in between the center. Okay, in between the center, from this point to this line, in between the center. So starting from here, I'm making it curvy line. Starting from here, now like this. And here you can draw this one, this design. Crossing the, just this is the center, sorry. This is the center. This is the center. It is just little bit below in this way. Okay, so this is the center. This is the center, just little bit below here. So you can take like this and this toward this up direction, this line toward this one. And where it is meeting, don't draw the like this one. Okay, okay. Don't draw the line this one. Where you have to meet, just 1/3 of this diagonal line. 1/3 of this diagonal line. Here you have to meet. Okay. So this is the diagonal line. Where is the 1/3 here? So you have to meet here. We will draw the design later on. First of all, we have to focus just joining the dots. Then, when you will reach this point, this diagonal line, this is a 1/3 point, then going towards, it is joining where? To this diagonal line, it is 1/4. You can say the half of this. The half of this, if you will divide into this point to this point into two halves and draw the straight line over here, just half of this. Okay, so you can say half of this. Join this, just joining. Okay, crossing this line, and here you have joined, because this is what the another design we are going to draw. That is why I am using straight line, little bit curvy. Okay, so don't worry about the design. Now, just little bit below, you can say 1/3 point. This is a 1/3 point of this diagonal line. Start from here where you have to meet at this intersection point. Okay, here it is coming like this, little bit bended here in the center, like this. Okay, so here it is coming, and here it is meeting at the intersection point. And from the intersection point, again going down, it is touching this line, not exactly touching the line. It is just little bit far from this line, little bit to the right side of this line. So take it in a curve, take it in a curve, and up to this, where this is what the guess technique you have to use now. But where it has to move up to what point? You can take the half of this line, and where it is meeting, the cloth is meeting here, just before the half of this center. See, I'm making it more simple. We have reached here. Okay, fine. Now from this point, now it is now connecting with some line. And this is the line we have to draw. First of all, we will draw this line. Okay, so where to draw this line? Can you take the half of this line? If you will take the half of this line, it is here. It is here. So start from here, and it is where connecting the to this line. Start the half of this line where you have to start. Start the half of this line. Okay, this one, eighth column in the. Okay, half of this line. Okay, starting from the half of this line. Now it is joining where? Just this is a half, just before the half. Okay, if 9. It is, see, like this one. Okay, so where it is going? I am taking wrong. Wait. This is the diagonal line. This is the diagonal line, and half is this one. Where I am going? This is a half. Okay, half is this one. This is the intersection point. Okay, half is this one diagonal line. This is the half, and going to the just near to the half. This is a half, and it is just before the half. Okay, so if this is the half, it is just before the half. Here, you can join these 2 points. This is the half of this diagonal line. It is just before here. This is the point. Now, when you will find this point, when you will find this point from this to this point, so find out the half of this cloth. Half of this cloth is here. Again, it is just before to the down direction here. Okay, half of the cloth, and you can also take the half also. All up to you. You can also take the half also. Okay, so now like this way you have to give the curve to the half of these clothes. Even you can take just below also. It's up to you. Here below also. So here, from here you have to go. If you will divide this line into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 1/4 point. So join like this and meeting where crossing this line, okay, crossing this line where it is meeting somewhere. See, if somewhere to that line which we need to draw, somewhere to that line which we need to draw, because this is not the grid line, this is the line which we have to draw. So how you will draw? Again go to this diagonal line, and this is the half. Okay, again go to the diagonal line. Where is the diagonal line? See, where we have stopped. We have stopped on this diagonal line. This diagonal line we have stopped. Okay, this diagonal line we have stopped. So here we have stopped here, and it is what? 10th column, sorry, 10th row, second column. 10th row, second column. We have stopped here. You can see here. This is the 10th row, and this is the first column, and this is the second column. So in the second column, we have stopped here. We have stopped here. And here, just take the diagonal, this diagonal line, center of this diagonal line, okay, where we have already stopped. We have stopped here, and we have to take the center of this diagonal line. For example, this is the center. So what you have to do? You have to draw from that center line, and where you have to go, this point. This is the 1/3 point of this line. Or you can say, you can also take it as 1/4. 1/4. Even if you will take at 1/3, it is okay. I told you, jewelry, hairs, clothes, these things you can take up to any height, any width, anything you can take. Okay, so from this you can take 1/3. From this you can take 1/3 here. Now you got the point here. From this parallel line you can join here. This way you can join here. Now where it is going? Where we have reached here 1/3 point. We have reached here 1/3 point. Now again going towards the down direction, whatever the take you want to take the point you can, because this is cloth. Okay, just going towards the downward direction. Okay, it is meeting where? It is meeting, if you will take this last line, it is just in the center, just in the center. Okay, so you will draw towards the down direction and meet here to the this center of this line, to the center of this line, just this one. So how it looks like now? This portion we have taken the, this portion we have drawn the outline. This portion we have drawn the outline. Whenever you are going to draw any portrait, anything, any complex model with the help of grid method, number of times center technique is used. Number one, which technique is used? Maximum center technique. For every line you have to find out the center. This is the number of times this technique is used. Second technique is what? If you will not find the center, that yes, it is not very close to the center, then it means the point is somewhere either 1/3 or either 1/4. If you are not finding the closer point to the center, then it will be either 1/4, either 1/3. This is the second technique. Third technique, your guess technique. Guess technique means if it is not to the center, if the point is not to the close to the center, if the point is not according to 1/3, 1/4 of the center, then guess technique is used. Okay. For example, here the guess technique is used because it is not close to the center. It is not at the center. It is not taken as 1/4, not taken as 1/3. Just little bit from this intersection point, you can use the guess technique that from how much towards the up direction you have to take this curve. तो फोर्थ टेक्निक हमारे पास कौन सी है? अगर सेंटर पॉइंट पे भी हमें नहीं हेल्प मिल रही, सेंटर पॉइंट के आसपास भी हेल्प नहीं मिल रही, अगर हम 1/3 1/4 लें तो भी हेल्प नहीं मिल रही, तो लास्ट कौन सी टेक्निक बची? Guess technique. With the help of guess technique, we can now come to know how much towards the up direction, just above, little bit here, you have to mark the point. In this way, these four techniques are used to draw the lines, the outlines. So today we will just cover this much because 2 hours. So in the next class we will continue.